Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday live stream. I forgot how to do this, really. So here you have it. We missed, unfortunately, our last week live stream. That's on me. That's on me. Thank you, everyone, for because I hope all was well. The gist of it, basically, I was born in Russia. I live in England, and my family is in Russia. And half an hour before the live stream, the news came out that Alexei Navalny was killed. And I just couldn't do live stream half an hour after this news. So hope you understand me. It's very hard to see what's happening in the country I was born and what's happening to Ukraine. It's very difficult to see and live with this. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you understand. So moving this out of the way, hope everyone is fine. We have people from all over the world, really. So we've got San Francisco, we've got United States, we've got New Zealand even, and a part of England. I mean, that covers the whole area. Hope everyone is doing well. How's your photography going? How are you coping without announcement of Nikon Z6 III? Can you still take pictures? Or you really need to get this new camera? So I want to know all about this. In the meantime, Coffee Fund is open. I have a beautiful mug in here. So that's my new mug. I really like it. I'm going to open my coffee and I want to have a coffee with you. So I want to see what everyone's been up to. I want to talk about news. If you have any questions, any Nikon-related questions, any technical questions as well, do please let me know and tell me if the audio is okay or not as well. So I want to know all of this. So first of all, before I set up, I'm going to have a special announcement for next week for you. Next week live stream is not on Friday, it's on Thursday. The reason for that being is we will have a special guest. Her name is Becky Danisi, and she'll join me for that special live stream on Thursday at 3:15 next week. We're going to film in the morning, do some content for you for our Sunday videos, but in the afternoon, she'll join me. So I hope you're going to be excited to see Becky on Thursday. So Thursday, 3:15, live stream, special announcement. Hope to see you there. I know it's not the normal time, but hopefully, you will be there to see. So Andy saying hit the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thank you, Marvel. I appreciate for the coffee. My coffee today is from Colombia. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, everyone. Sometimes it's very difficult to smile on the camera when you hurt. That's all it is. So we have people from Africa, Dover, Halifax. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. We did this podcast on Tuesday with Becky, and we asked you, would you like Nikon to release a point-and-shoot luxury compact camera? Yeah, because Fujifilm X100 was announced. Great camera. I think Fujifilm is really doing really well with that series of cameras. And you can see just the feedback of people. And obviously, they done really good promotion-wise because everyone flew there. I think Seth went to Japan as well to see the camera. So that's incredible. And the following for this camera is quite huge. So when I looked at the comment under this podcast, your opinions were very interesting because they were kind of in all different spectrums, from the point of Nikon shouldn't go into luxury compact cameras to I would love to get one, and Coolpix, which is their 28mm point and shoot. That's the last, I think, luxury point and shoot they ever did, is one of their favorite cameras. So I want to see you guys in the chat as well. What do you think? Would you buy one? I mean, let's say full frame, built-in 35mm or 28, similar to 28 Ti, 35 Ti. Nice optical viewfinder if possible, or electronic viewfinder, whatever you name it. But small and light, yeah, something about this size. Of course, it's going to be thicker, but something very pocketable. I want to hear from you. Thank you very much, Adrian. Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much, Ian. I appreciate it. It's good to see you guys because, yeah, I haven't been here for 2 weeks. So, you know, it's very interesting to see. Actually, are we going to have people on the live stream or not? Last one we did with Gray, I really glad that you liked what we started to do with Gray. So we'll try to have Gray every month on a live stream. So I think that's very important. He has a lot of stories to share. He has a lot of things to teach me. So I really, really appreciate it. And I also appreciate the suggestion of photographers to interview. So we're going to try to get this going hopefully soon. Now, let's see the comments. So I am buffering a little bit. There's a little bit of noise on the line, Andy, so there could be occasional buffering. Unfortunately, after speaking to the IT guys, I was told that it's just an old building, it's an old wiring, so every now and then we may get noise on the line, and that can potentially cause buffering. The good news is, I think, finally this year, we may be able to get a proper fiber installed. So if we get this, so they're basically researching this now. So if we can get that installed, hopefully, yeah, we can get that installed, and then, you know, the live stream, who knows, maybe we'll stream in 4K, I don't know, but that's going to be cool. Guys are not downloading anything downstairs. They are busy with customers. The shop is full. A lot of people looking at a lot of nice film vintage equipment, which is quite amazing to see. I really enjoy when people buying some of the collectible Nikon cameras, let's say film cameras, or just their first film cameras, which is really, really cool to see. Hello from Stockholm. Hi, Per. Good to see you. Okay, so Dave says he doesn't think that Nikon should release one. So unless it's smaller than his iPhone. Okay, well, yeah, the camera generally going to be thicker, but could be the same size. The phones are getting bigger and bigger. Remember the times where the phones were actually getting smaller and smaller, and suddenly we just decided to go the other way, you know, so in the last 10 years. That's very interesting. Good to see that there's no buffering here. It may happen at some point, so, you know, so that's just the way it is. Matt suggests downloading Gray's Brain to YouTube. That's a good plan. Well, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. We will have a tour of the shop, which we're going to film probably next week, where Gray is going to walk you through Gray's Westminster store and tell you all the secrets and all the things, what they mean on display and everything. So that's something we will do. That's going to be aired in March. For this Sunday, we're finally going to have Voigtlander lenses on Nikon ZF. So hopefully we're going to get a little bit more videos out. So that's some good news. Andy suggests fiber. Yes, definitely. We want to see fiber. Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Sound is perfect. That's really good. Michael carries his P7800 everywhere. Fantastic. Again, people do like Nikon cameras. Drop the name Coolpix. I think, you know, call them, you know, 28 DI maybe instead of TI, you know, but as David suggests, you know, so, and David shoots with 28 Ti on the street. So David, you're from Bay Area. I might come and see you in a couple of weeks time. You know, I'll text you, but I'm going to be in San Francisco at some point in March. So still working out the trip yet, but I will be in the United States. I will be visiting California in March. Have a big road trip planned, so time is very limited. Every day is going to be something new. But if you have any suggestions for me for things to see, I would really appreciate it. So far the plan is to go towards Grand Canyon and Monument Valley, and that's the reason for that being is because my last trip, which was before the COVID, we had to cut it short. We were supposed to go to Monument Valley and Grand Canyon the following day, but we had to basically drive back from Moab overnight to get the last plane to London. So that will happen. So we're going to go towards Las Vegas, Grand Canyon, and Monument Valley. And then we're doing a big turn, and we go back to Las Vegas, then up to Sequoia National Park, Yosemite, San Francisco, and then all the way basically down the coast towards Los Angeles. So including obviously Morro Bay, Big Sur, Santa Barbara, you name it. So that's the plan. But if you have any suggestions for things for me to see, I would really appreciate it. I've done Joshua Tree, I've done Death Valley, so that's kind of done. But some cool things, like I think I haven't done any Route 66. I might go see Roy's Motel. At least that is my plan, and most of it is going to be on film, I think. So Kevin says Nikon 28 ZI is a new Coolpix A. So yeah, 28 Ti, that could be that. I think personally Nikon did something right with those two cameras, 28 Ti and 35 Ti. So I think Nikon should really look into that. Obviously, when you drop all the point and shoot cameras and the production of it, I think it's probably very difficult to set it up again. But if they can do it, that would be quite interesting. One thing that people pointed out in our comments, that the reason why X100V Fujifilm was out of stock for all this long time is because the production was in Japan, and Fujifilm apparently built a factory in China just to do, production of those cameras in China. So the volume of the production is going to be much higher. I assume they're going to produce something else there, but it takes time to set things up like this, and obviously, if you're producing a one product in line, so it's not the whole Z system in different lenses, you literally produce a camera with built-in lens, that requires a bit of time to set it up. And the main guess you might have is how many units do we sell, how many people will buy it, and at what price. And that was very interesting to see, because the prices were from $500 to about $3,500, where people say, I'll buy this for $1, so let's have a look. So Terry suggests Josh Bosket as a photographer interview. Okay. Well, with all those people, we basically need to email them and see if they're going to come back to us. We will try. We'll try. So let's see how it goes. That's the thing. Obviously, we can email. If they agree, they will. If they're not, they're not. So it is what it is. So yeah, David suggests to drive down California coast. Yeah, that's what we're planning to do. We were thinking to drive up. So from basically Santa Monica all the way up, but yeah, decide against it. So we're going to do Sequoia, Yosemite, and then San Fran all the way down. That's the plan. And it's, basically every day is going to be a new location effectively. I love the idea of sleeping in those motels, on the side of the highway. I think it's just, for us tourists, it's going to be a very interesting experience, I would say, and obviously I just love driving in the United States because you can drive for miles, don't see any car. The vistas are just amazing. You can just stop every 5 seconds and take pictures. You have snow and mountains on one side, then you have sand dunes on another side, and then, massive forest. It's just, it's incredible. And obviously, California is, after this trip, we will probably go somewhere else, but hopefully that will kind of close our chapter with California, that's for sure. Okay, Tom says, the X100 wasn't for me. The styling made me feel like a weirdo when using it, and it just didn't feel as solid as Coolpix A. Interesting take, Tom. I can tell you why, because my colleagues, sound con. Okay, mic is gone. Okay, can you hear me now? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Question mark. No sound, still no sound. Phil say no sound. Okay, unplug. unplug. Okay. Yes, sound is back. Sound is back. Sound is back. Okay, what did I get cut off on? What did I start to talk about GR3? Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much. What did I get a cut off on? Coolpix A, GR3, X100. So tried X100V because my colleague had one. Didn't like it because it wasn't too small like Coolpix A, and it felt weird compared to X Pro series cameras. And I love X Pro 1, X Pro 2 I had X Pro 3 at the time. So tried X100V, found it a little bit, I don't know, just didn't feel right to me, you know, so got X Pro 3 instead, sold it 2 months later. So that was my answer. But Coolpix A, probably, if you're looking at Coolpix A replacement right now, it would be GR3, which will have 28mm focal distance lens. You obviously can get the next version with a 40mm. So in terms of this, yeah, I think if you want Coolpix A replacement right now, then go Ricoh or get a Coolpix A secondhand, and they are going at reasonable prices on eBay. I do find X100 it's beautifully obviously made camera. I love Fuji brand as a brand. I think they're doing something great. I do find the camera is a bit too big for compact camera, and I feel like they could make it smaller a little bit. I don't know why, but obviously optical viewfinder, hybrid viewfinder is really cool. Obviously they should have improved autofocus speed as well. And I think the autofocus is kind of the main issue with those cameras. But again, while the camera is still on the larger side, it's still very pocketable for a lot of people. As long as you're happy with 35mm focal distance, I think that was, you know, that would be a good choice for a lot of people. And yeah, if Nikon would release something like 35 and 28 Di or Ti, I think it would be good. But yeah, it just comes down to how much does it take in terms of setting up the production of it. How many resources is going to take them to do this. ZFC was light and felt like a toy. X100 looks more like a toy than ZFC. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I see your points. I do find that obviously ZFC takes more lenses, but it's not as pocketable. But a lot of people in the comment put ZFC setup with 26 pancake as a good alternative to X100V. So, you know, I agree. A lot of people say, well, why not ZF and 28 pancake? Well, it's larger camera. It's just larger camera. It's a great camera. You know, I have one personally as my personal camera. So, but it's not size-wise, they're not comparable. So if you can get something full frame in the size of, let's say, maybe X106, maybe Sony R1 RX or something like this. So then, yeah, I think that would be kind of more interesting because ZF is great. It's still more of it's a bigger camera. That's what it is. Unless Nikon decides to release very compact lenses like 28, 26 and 40mm. Who knows? Why won't we, you know, get 50 f2? Why won't we get 75 lens or something like this, 2.8? You know, don't need to go like 1 point something apertures. You know, make it compact most of all. Speaking of 75mm lenses, Voigtlander announced 75 1.5 lens for Nikon Z mount. That is really cool news. I tried the Leica one, 75 1.5. It's incredible lens. It's incredible lens. We not on Nikon system not used to 75mm focal distances, but it's a really good focal distance. It's not too long as, let's say, 90 or something like this. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully, we'll get a review out for this. Speaking of other reviews, we've got Wheeltrox 20mm. To test out, so we will be film review on this next Thursday with Becky. So looking forward to this. Again, very cheap, small lens that packs a punch, you know, and has autofocus. So again, when we complain about prices on Nikon cameras and lenses, we also need to see that there are third parties available, and obviously everyone will choose what they need depending on their needs, cost, quality, build, you name it. Okay. George says, time and time again, Seth Miranda has pushed Nikon to come out with a rangefinder. Nikon needs to feel out their lower-end cameras. we can say lots of things, guys. You know, it doesn't mean Nikon is going to do this. You know, this whole thing about why Nikon won't make medium format lenses because that mount can cover larger sensor areas. Yes, we can say all those things. Will it happen? Highly unlikely. And the reason for that being is you have to set up bunch of you have to release lenses for this. Yeah, so you have to put a lot more money. I think the idea is to make sure that the range that Nikon offers right now is quite filled. I mean, and it is. We've got quite a lot of lenses right now. There now more niche lenses that need to be addressed. You know, like tilt and shift lenses, maybe 200 micro, maybe 200 f2 prime, you know, like I just spoke to a client today as well, and we discussed the 200mm f2G lens, AFS VR for Nikon F mount. And it's a beautiful lens, can be had reasonably priced nowadays. A lot of Nikon F mount glass drops so much in value. It's incredible. It's incredible. I was looking at the price of 58 1.4 lens, the G. Beautifully, the ranging of this lens is just amazing, you know. So they're going now for about 650, 700 pounds. 105 1.4E goes about around 1,000 pounds. That is absolutely crazy lens for the image quality. So some of you who want to get value for money, the F-mount glass now is cheap. It's incredibly cheap. I was just looking at that, even at Grace prices. I was just like, wow, we are selling this for this now. It's incredible. Okay, so yeah, we can say, you know, like we can say as people what we want. Will Nikon make something that's entirely up to them? Obviously, they do their research. You know, they can listen what we say. That they don't need to implement what we say. That's the thing. You know, a lot of people have, you know, different opinions. A lot of people have different parts of their photography journey. A lot of people do different things. That's the thing. If you're studio photographer, you probably want to have a dedicated studio camera for Nikon Z mount. If you're sports photographer, you want this. How many people do need, let's say, you know, the Z9 speeds, realistically speaking, as, let's say, hobbyist photographers? Probably not many, but obviously we like to talk about those things, you know. And obviously, yeah, I would love personally if Nikon would release rangefinder. I would be the first one in line, probably just behind Seth, you know. It's just, you know, realistically speaking, the chance of it is pretty much close to zero. All right, let's see. Good morning, all. Thank you. Hi, David. Hope you well. Okay, Nikon needs to, Adobe says Nikon needs to focus on small prime, 7300 lens to go with 24 to 120. I personally think we should have this. There is a Tamron Z lens at the moment. It is there. It doesn't have VR, so for DX users, it's a bit of a bummer, but it is there. It is there, and hopefully Nikon will release this. I don't really see, like, it looks like the whole, if you look at the releases of lenses from Tamron and Voigtland, and those are the main third parties at the moment, Sigma is there, but they haven't released anything since their 3 DX lens announcements. But if you look at this, it looks like there's a gentleman's agreement in place saying we don't step on each other's toes. So we don't release 7300. If Tamron releases 7300, Nikon doesn't release 7300. If, let's say, Nikon has 85 lens, then Voigtland release 75 lens, 1.5. You know, so it's a very interesting thing. I guess there is some sort of agreement there, because otherwise, why won't we just have the same lens that does it all? You know, why Nikon doesn't release 7300 to compete with Tamron, and we can have just different price points? I don't know. So I think there's agreement in place. Who knows? Jenny is asking, is it worth buying wheel trocks for Z6 and Z50? I don't know. Our first wheel trox lens that we are trying, we haven't tested yet, the 20mm. So if you want to see more reviews on wheel trox lenses, then have a look at other YouTubers, and Matt Irvin comes to mind straight away because I think he reviewed a lot of wheel trox Z lenses. So I'm sure he has a lot to share about that. But I'm looking forward to try that 20mm, just to see what wheel trox lenses are like, really, more than anything else. Hit the like button if you can. So join me for a coffee, you know, or a tea, who knows. I mean, as they say, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. So, you know, whatever you want to join me with, I'll be happy to. Thank you very much, Gary. Did I thank everyone? Let me just quickly go through the settings. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, I think we covered. Let's see your comments. Let's see your comment. I want the show to be about speaking to you. So like this solo show is about our conversation. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. So Kevin says Nikon should make it like a Q-style camera. That was the point of our discussion on a podcast, Nikon Report, that we do. If you don't know what Nikon Report is the show that me and Becky we're doing it, and we discuss basically whatever news came out about Nikon within the week period or two, and then we have some points of discussion. So it's a conversation between friends. That's what I call it. So we're not trying to be super serious there, but I hope you like it. So, and you haven't listened to us, we are on all podcast platforms, and we obviously on YouTube as well. So come and join us. Okay, so David Lewis says, I enjoy the price drop of F lenses, finally can afford them. Exactly. I think I might pick up the 105 1.4 myself because I sold it. I had 85 and 105. And I kind of sold 105 because I don't use it as often, but the itch is still there. I feel like I miss it, and it's a great lens. Again, it's just look at it. It's a big chunk of glass, incredibly sharp. The bokeh is beautiful. It's one of the. I think it's going to be one of the classics for Nikon F mount. That's for sure. So let's see. George B says, love my Z50 or 26 pancake. Yeah, that's a good alternative to X106. Kevin says, I wish 70-180 had a VR. Yeah, so Tamron lens and VR, it's one of those things. Obviously, for full frame users, it's not that big of a deal, but for DX users, it is a bit of a bummer. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you, Albert. He says, most Nikon full-frame 35mm shooters are unaware that Nikon greatest lenses were never designed for 35mm camera body. Instead, it was used on medium or large format camera bodies. Okay. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. I mean, I have GFX 100S, and I have one of those autofocus adapters. Was it Monster adapter? No, it was one of the adapters that exists to this. And some lenses work really well on GFX. F-mount lenses. H5 1.4 is beautiful. The G version on the GFX, you get a bit of vignette in the corners, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. 105 works great. Wide angle lens is a little bit less, but yeah, you can get lenses that will fit technically the small medium digital format that we have nowadays. Okay. So David Mascori and David Liu joins conversation. Says, Conan is coming to Bay Area in March. Let's take him to the Mission District. All rangefinder shoot and some good Mexican food. Oh, I'm up for it. Definitely. I am like, okay, I'm going to, like, this is personal. Tacos. I haven't tried good tacos in London. I just haven't tried them. They're normally overpriced and not as good. So I'm all about tacos. So yeah, definitely. David Cruz, looking forward to seeing you as well, mate. So yeah, definitely. If you're in the area, hit me up. I'm going to be on a very strict schedule, but if I can see you and say hello, I would love to do this. Absolutely. I know you through the names in the chat, but to know you through the faces, I think is going to be just a privilege. So thank you very much. I appreciate everyone here. Okay, so okay, Ian White, did you answer my question about 24 to 70mm lenses when the sound went? Ian, no, I haven't seen your question. Could you just retype it, please? And I will try to answer it. Sorry, I've missed it. Colin says, I love rangefinder style cameras. We don't need pretension prism of mirrorless cameras. Yeah, I mean, if Nikon release rangefinder, as I say, like, I would be the one to take it. I think we, again, like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you come here to see us to tell you about all the latest technology and, say, oh yeah, speed. Honestly, like, how much speed do we need? We love cameras and we love what they do. So I think if Nikon, like, Nikon's good now. Like, obviously Nikon is always behind. You ask internet, Nikon is always behind. It's just Nikon is doom and gloom. It's fine. Yeah. Once you pass through all the noise, we try to think about what would be interesting for people to try, because we all different people, and I think inclusivity is very important. From technology point of view, from sports and action point of view, I think we are kind of there. You know, but obviously internet will say that Nikon is miles, you know, behind Sony and all this. But, you know, it makes me love those things because all I say is, why won't you try the cameras and then see what happens? But from technology point of view, yes, we need Z6 Mark III and Z7 Mark III. We need to bring the mid-range cameras and the low-range cameras up to speed with the development and technology of Nikon Z9s, Z8s, and now Nikon ZF. So yes, I think Nikon should do this. The other things like point-and-shoot camera, rangefinder camera, it's an interesting point of discussion. Realistically speaking, I don't expect anything from Nikon to come out of this. So when we talk about different things, or would be cool or would not be cool, it's not necessarily that this is going to happen tomorrow. You know, it's just a fun conversation, because how many times can we talk about megapixels and frames per second? Why do you ask me why I want a high resolution camera every live stream? We covered this question so many times, you know, so, you know, it's just one of those things. So we want to have different conversation with you about different things, not the same topics over and over again, because it gets boring for you, it gets boring for us, I think, you know. All right, let's see. Ian White is asking, I am using Nikon DSLR and looking for 24-70 2.8 lens. So the question is G version or VR version? Thank you. Okay. So I had the G version. That was my events lens. So basically G850 24-70G. That's all I needed. Try the VR version. It's good. It's not a massive leap in terms of image quality. VR helps for low light shooting without the flash, definitely. But for me at the time, and we're talking about 3-4 years ago, the cost of upgrade from non-VR version to VR version was too much. So I decided to stick with the G version. That's my answer. The difference now is that the G version and VR version, or the E version as we call it, dropped so much in value that now you can just pick and choose. And obviously the VR version is going to be a little bit more expensive than the G version. But again, it's not £2,500 like it was back in the day. So that's kind of my, you know, my thinking about this. So if the budget allows you to get the VR version and you need the, you know, VR for low light shooting or something else, then get that. But if you're on a tight budget, just get the G version. It's not far behind. Optically, they're very, very close. David Liu opened the taco fund. Thank you very much. So David's going to be in Japan. It's fine, David. Totally fine, you know. But if I catch you, that would be great. So you know, I'm gonna be flying, I think, on the 12th, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm gonna be in LA probably around in San Francisco probably around 20th of March, like between 20th and 25th. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still working out my schedule because literally every day we go somewhere. I think we have about 2.5 days for San Francisco. Yeah, 2 days in Yosemite, 2.5 days in Yosemite. LA, I think I have 2 days and I have already meetings set up on those days. So yeah, but the rest is going to be basically drive there for 3 hours, see the national park, take lots of pictures, sleep somewhere in a motel, drive the next morning or something like this. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. Okay. So Kevin says, I don't think Nikon needs to make a true rangefinder, but they can make something that Fuji X Pro and like a Q2 is like with modern features. Yeah, could be, but you know, everyone is different. From personal point of view, I like rangefinder. I like the traditional rangefinder system. I don't need all the improvements on a personal level. Again, people who like X Pro series and X100 series, obviously they think differently. Obviously, they like autofocus. But everyone is different. That's the thing. If we can get some sort of hybrid where we can have autofocus and we can have a traditional rangefinder focusing, that would be amazing. But yeah, everyone is different, Kevin. So yeah, I think whatever Nikon does, well, yeah, if they ever do that. So, you know, it's an interesting conversation for them to have. But I like that Leica is still doing rangefinder cameras with the digital. And I had to play with M10R Leica, and it feels really, really nice. You know, I love the manual focus control. You know, it basically feels like a film camera, but with a digital body. You know, that's incredible. Obviously, you don't get the winder. You know, and again, winders on Leicas are fantastic. So, you know, but that's the thing. But obviously a lot of people like Q. You know, I personally can't justify so much money for a camera with a 28mm lens. It's too much for me. If I have this budget, I get I guess like M10 or M10R and the 28 void lender, maybe 1.5 that just came out from them. So that's the thing. I think there's definitely a better value for money, and not a big increase in size, if you see what I mean. But yeah. It's very interesting if Nikon ever decides to do this. I want to be in those back rooms where designers decide which way to go, because that would be very, very interesting to see their logic behind that. So thank you, Kirill. He says, just a little snack for Con's coffee break. Thanks for keeping up good work. My pleasure, Kirill. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I have a warning on my live stream. So if we are buffering for a moment, do let me know. So because my screen is going all yellow and says alarm, alarm, alarm. So David says, you better show up with 3 empty stomachs in LA. I probably will be. So definitely looking forward for lots of tacos, lots of tequilas. And yeah, my wife was interested. She said, well, you're going to meet people. What am I going to do? I'm like, well, you're going to enjoy all the nice food and all the local experience that you'll get. So, so I'm sure she will enjoy that very, very much as well. Okay. So Colin says, yeah, Nikon S3 with the same buttons, etc. Yeah, that would, for me, that would be amazing. Yeah, if we release something like S3 or SP, I think S3 is 35mm if I'm not mistaken, and SP does 28. If we can get one of those, I would prefer to have 28 frame lines as well as 35 if we can. That would be incredible. $5,000, I would, whatever. If I can afford it somehow, I will try to make it happen. That's the thing. And if it's compatible with their old lenses, that's nice. But again, releasing a rangefinder right now gives asks the question, well, what mount do we use? Do we use that mount? If we use that mount, it's going to be a very different looking rangefinder, So what do we do? And how do you couple that mount lenses with the rangefinder mechanism? All sorts of questions that can be asked. And if we have the traditional Nikon rangefinder mount, I think it's Contax if I'm not mistaken, then do we need to create a set of lenses, or do we need to ask Voigtlander to release something? I think they had some lenses for Nikon rangefinders in the past. Maybe they still have. So you can correct me in the comments. So yeah, that's an interesting question. I would love to be a part of it, if possible. Me and Seth, just create the camera. Let's see what's going to happen. I mean, nothing can go wrong, really, isn't it? All right. So Nigel suggests, why not Z30 with an EVF? Could be an option. Yeah, I'm just thinking if Nikon can release an EVF for V30. I don't know if the hot shoe contact will allow for this, but but technically, yes, we see cameras like cameras have. I think the M11 and M10 have this what called VisoFlex electronic viewfinder. They have this, so maybe Nikon should look into this. Obviously, like Blackmagic cameras, a lot of cameras had this in the past, as far as I know. Let's see. Andy says, I would like to get D850 while it's still in production. It is still in production. It's recently, the information I got, and don't quote me on this, but I got a hint that there are not going to be as many D850s coming in. So they're not stopping the production, but I wonder if they're just reducing the quantity just based on sales. So keep that in mind. So Andy, if you are thinking of getting one, maybe it's worth considering getting it soon. But if they said that the camera is going to be, DSLR is going to be supported till 2025, so I assume hopefully they will make D850 till 2025. But yeah, the quantities will be reduced. So who knows, maybe like Nikon F6. Nikon F6 on, I think, last year and a half, it was a special order, and they normally would have a delivery and then would have to wait for 6 months for the next delivery. So that means that they would produce a small quantity, it would sell out, then they would make for another production run. So who knows, maybe we're going to get this, maybe not. I think it's not going to be as limited as Nikon F6, but I guess they're looking at the sales and they see how much stock they have, and then they will adjust accordingly. Okay, let's see. What else is here? Richard Wardy says, Nikon to announce new partnership at photography and video show 16th of March, lighting or lenses. What do we need? What do we need, people? So what do you think, what Nikon should do next? Who do they need to partner with? Talking about lighting, obviously the flash guns was a comment that everyone asked about, and we talked about it I think for the last 2 years, we kind of were asking the same questions. And Nikon partnered with Photo Pro, Photo, and Nissin. So both of them make flash guns that are compatible with Nikon system, and I assume not just compatible, but also kind of they work with Nikon. So Nikon, worked with them on those models. So that's what they do right now. Do you think Nikon should partner with some other accessory manufacturers? It seems like Small Rig became an official Nikon product, the small grip ZF grip, so small rig grip for Nikon ZF. So that became one of those things. So it's actually now we can order those from Nikon directly. Nikon never sold ZF or any small rig accessories before, so that's very interesting. No, I'm wrong. They were doing the bloggers kits back in the day as well. So it seems like it's one of those partnerships they do. David, I don't, to be honest with you, I'm gonna have so much film with me. So David, don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna have rolls and rolls. Yeah, just lots of them. So probably something like 30 to 40 rolls. I am gonna take Nikon ZF with me with a 28mm and 40, I think, and that's gonna be basically my probably point and shoot camera and my low light camera, so at night without the tripod. The rest is going to be shot on film. That's just the way I enjoy my photography. So again, I know digital is better, but this is what I enjoy. That's what makes me tickle, as they say. So that's what I look at my negatives and I'm just smiling. So that's the thing, and it's such a personal thing, But it's not about film versus digital. Let's have a look at that. Okay, Edward is living in Medellin, Colombia. Wow, that's cool. I want to make it to South America, definitely. Andy says, Adobe had a pixel shift available in this week's update. That's cool. We need to look into this. We've recorded a pixel shift for ZF video about 3 months ago. That's going to come out hopefully soon. But I think we might need to do the Adobe version as well. So that would be interesting to see. And obviously add Nikon Z8 as well to it. Kirill says, suggest macro bellows with pass-through autofocus for Nikon Z mount. That's going to be quite cool. That's going to be quite cool. I know that Novaflex is doing some bellows. They have some wire connecting to the camera, I think, to stop down the lens. I'm not sure, but some bellows exist. I don't think they do autofocus. But on Monday, next week, I'm gonna meet a chap who's distributor of Novaflex in UK. I'm gonna have a meeting with him. So I'll be able to ask him this question, Kirill. So that would be interesting if they're working on something like this. But yeah, Novaflex, if you know, it's a high quality German manufactured accessories. So for macro photography, and they do some adapters for all sorts of cameras and lenses. So Edward still shoots Nikon D800, fantastic. Those are great cameras. My first, no, it's not my D700 was my first Nikon Pro camera for commercial work, and then D800T I bought. So spent my own money. That was a lot of money at the time to get there. And the good news is, yeah, camera paid for itself with the jobs I did with it. So that's good. Unfortunately, Kirill, yeah, I'm not going to be in East Coast. It's going to be direct flight to LAX. Yeah, so not this time. I am planning to go to New York at some point. So who knows? So if I ever make it to New York, definitely let's meet there. I have lots of friends there. I spent 5 months living in New York the whole summer as a student. So good times. And yeah, hopefully, see Seth there, crush his Wednesday live stream, so just walking into the studio. Wave at the back. So that would be cool. Definitely, David, looking forward to this. Cupcake Bunny suggests that Nikon should have official shift bellows for Nikon Z. I use my PB4. Yeah, they've abandoned their bellows, right? I mean, that's been, what, 20, 30 years? Because if you look at PB4, PB6, those were made a long time ago. And they are fairly rare. They still cost quite a bit. So yeah, and for certain cameras, you need to get additional spaces. Like, let's say, camera like Z9 or D6, you would need to add additional space for the bellows. So otherwise, the battery, built-in battery pack is just going to bump into the rail. So there's lots of things you can do this. But yeah, in the meantime, there are bellows available. I want to see, like, Novaflex I played with a long time ago. I want to try what's called Combo company, and they have those leather bellows that they design for all sorts of cameras, but I know a lot of studio guys use those for some like product photography mounted on phase ones and, you know, GFX's Hasselblads of the world. So I would love to see that. So just to get into this, I used to do product photography back in the day. I don't do it anymore, but it's, yeah, I think it's one of those fun projects just to kind of remember how things are done, really, you know. So that would be quite cool. Let's see what else is here. What time is it? That's 3 o'clock already. Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, next Thursday, not Friday, next week live stream is on Thursday at 3:15, not 2:15. 3:15 Thursday is going to be me and Becky, and I'm sure that a lot of you will be happy to see Becky. So definitely, she is in town, so we want to put her here on this table and have a discussion in person. I haven't seen her for a while as well. So obviously we record the podcast on Zoom nowadays. So, you know, it would be just nice to kind of, you know, just poke my finger into the shower and say, you're real, you know, you exist. So that's good. Okay, Paul P is asking, how are you getting on with fast portrait primes Z lenses, 85 or 135? Well, Paul, the question is, what do you prefer as a lens? What do you think you'll use more as a lens? Generally, advice would be 85 probably is more versatile, while 135 is fantastic lens, but it may be a little bit short kind of reviews and tests on this lens. And we compare it with 85 1.8 as well as 85 1.4G. 85 1.2 is a clear winner. It's incredible lens. It's fantastic. However, I do have 85 1.4G, which is, in my opinion, the way it renders, not sharpness, but the way it renders, I really like. And for me, it's quite close to the Z lens, you know. So I'm thinking maybe I should get, because I already have 85, while it's older version, maybe I should get 135. Then kind of I have the both lenses when I need to. And again, 135 is fantastic lens. But, am I buffering again? Okay, am I buffering? Am I buffering? Bufferoon. Okay. Should work on my spelling, really. Yeah, there's a bit of noise, I guess. Yeah, I'm keeping quiet until you can hear me properly. Tell me when you can hear me. Buffering in Canada. Back for a moment, then go up again. I think I can see that it should get better. It should get better, hopefully. Let me know. Let me know. We still here. Okay, well, that's not good. And we're back. Okay, so yeah, if you got H5, get a 135. If you don't have H5, get H5. That's the answer. Both lenses are superb. Again, I had to play with it in the last couple of weeks. Both are incredibly good lenses. So yeah, ideally have them both. But if you have to choose one, If you don't have 85, get 85. All right. Yeah, it's the time of the, normally what I've noticed, we always buffer around 3 o'clock. I don't know what happens there. Maybe someone flicks the switch or something, but we always buffer around this time. As I said, one day we're going to get a fiber, and then we're going to stream in 4K. And then you're going to see so much sharpness, so many details, that we might need to start to use I don't know, Black Promise filter or something like this, So, okay. So a part of buffering, let's see what other questions were there. Cupcake Bunny says, I also shoot large format, so that's why I like that. Camera movements are my favorite. Yeah, large format is incredible. I have a large format camera, the Chamonix, and I don't use it enough. That's one of the kind of my regrets. I need to start to use it more. I'm shooting mostly medium formats because it's more pocketable, but I do have to force myself to take the camera out. And at the moment, I don't use movements as much, but I know I need to learn. So definitely, it's one of the things that I want to spend more time on for sure. Andy, yeah, so our IT guys are looking into fiber installation. So hopefully, if it's possible, if they can price it up, then yeah, we will install it. So let's have a look. Colin can hear me in New Zealand. That's good acoustics. The sound travels fast. That's for sure. Let's see what else is here. So part of buffering. Let's see. Maybe I missed some of the questions, but let's just have a look. How are we doing? How my chat work today, guys? By the way, am I doing okay? Because I used to struggle with reading comments and talking a lot. So talking a lot is never a problem. It's the reading the comments that's the problem, you see. So that's the thing. So yeah, if it's working, then do let me know. Okay, I'm just scrolling through the chart now. So yeah, people recommend this prime lenses. 1.4 glass is really good. Sigma has a really nice set of art lenses. Those are fantastic. I agree. I think if Nikon doesn't release 1.4s, then Sigma, the space is yours, the floor is yours. So definitely we need to see some art glass on Nikon Z mount just to provide different price points really. And just keep the lenses a little bit small. I mean, art lenses are beautiful, but massive. I mean, that 135-1.8 as well, Sigma Art. Oof, that's a beast. Beautiful lens though. Great quality as well. Okay, let's see what we have. People say we are business, we in business. David is asking if I have a Lomo instant back for 4.5. I do. Yeah, David, thank you. Again, I just did a few tests. Still, I think I have about 5 shots in there. It's very interesting. I have to learn how to use it properly, and that's the thing. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If at the moment I'm still on my first pack of the format film. It's 50 shades. I think I got about 20 left that I need to shoot, and I still have to develop about 15 of those. By the way, been recently developing my film, lots of it, black and white, just getting myself back to it. It's great, So just, pots and tanks, agitations and all this. Takes you there. It's good fun. Not when you need to process 15 rolls of film, but if you got a couple to process, it's a kind of a fun hour of things to do. Will I be at photography show? No. Because I'm flying on the 12th to United States. So I think the photography show is on 16th. So I won't be here. But you can ask Becky next Thursday at 3:15 on our live stream together. So, will she be there? I don't know. But you can ask her for sure. I would love to go to photography show. I always enjoy to go there. I always like to see Analog Corner because I want to see what the new developments are like, what if the people create new film processes and affordable large format cameras like InSpeed or something like this. So there's lots of interesting things to see for sure. And obviously Nikon has a massive stand there. It's always good to see you guys there, always great to shake your hands. Obviously Nikon people are there, always good to see Richard, Richie. I'm sorry, Richie. That long time, So always good to see Richie. Yeah, it's one of the things that I'm gonna miss this year, unfortunately. But who knows? Maybe Becky's gonna be there. You need to ask her. All right, so I can multitask. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. It takes a few minutes for me to get going, but yeah. Sandra is asking, have you ever used an external monitor like Ninja 5? Yes, we do actually have Ninja 5. We don't use it as often as we want to. We use it mainly as external recorder. We got SSD hooked up to it, 1 terabyte SSD. Record whatever the RAW it has. File sizes are massive. We don't really use it as monitor as much, and the reason for that being is generally when me and Becky are filming, for us, ideally we need a third person. We need actually a cameraman to film us, because then life becomes a lot easier. Because we have to film each other, and we are very limited on amount of time we have, so we have to carry a lot of equipment with us to film. Sometimes we do several reviews on a day. So because of this, we don't want to add additional equipment. So have the Ninja, use it mainly at home for some production shots. But it's good, but I don't think we use it professionally enough for me to kind of share my opinion about it, because I don't really know all those things you can set up on those, all the video, all the zebras, all the false colors, all those things that videographers would know. We use it more practically, like hit record what we need, take a SSD drive and copy everything of it. So here we go. Let's see. So it's OC2Fish07 asking my opinion about 51.8 lens. It's a good lens. It's a sharp lens. I'm not a 50 man, so I do, it just, for me, I do feel it's a bit boring, but not in a way that is a bad lens. It's incredibly sharp lens. If you're a 50 person, you'll enjoy it. I do enjoy more 50 f2 upper Voigtlander on a personal level. Again, for general photography, if you need autofocus, get 51.8, you won't regret it. Again, when we reviewed 51.2 S lens, which is bigger, heavier, more expensive, 51.8 gets very close to this. It's not the same lens, but again, it's a value for money thing, so 51.8 is a very good value for what you get in terms of optical performance. That's the thing. So it's a boring good or boring great, I would say, definitely a proven lens. Okay, so who is Seraphine is saying, considering the ZF and never used Nikon before, are there any other choices like 35-40mm range for the size of the 40mm f2? Well, no, we only have 40mm f2 as this size. We also have 28mm f2, f2.8. It's the same size as 40mm, and we have 26mm. So those are kind of three small lenses that they have. You want to keep it small. You can technically get a Leica adapter and put Leica lenses, like Voigtlander lenses for Leica mounts on ZF. Makes the whole package quite small, but native lenses will perform better, Here we go. So Kapki Bunny says, the space mask for the lomograph lock isn't correct thickness and doesn't show the accurate framing. Yeah, I found it. I had to take about 4 or 5 shots just to figure this out. So that's definitely one of the things. It's not cheap as well, and I wish they would just design a proper mask for it, because you still have to pay like something like £150 for it. So it's not exactly a cheap thing. So it should really work when you buy it. Let's see what else. OG Juan is saying, just picked up an L35AF on eBay, thinking about the lens hood. How do you feel about them? L35AF is a great camera. I have one. Thanks, Mom. I've got L35AF is great. Mine goes up to 400 ISO. So if you got the older one, it will go to 800 ISO, which I would recommend if you shoot in 800 ISO films like Portra 800. There's a bunch of Kodak Vision 500Cs now out with a ramjet removed. So you can shoot those as well. They're about rated at 800 ISO. I do have L35AW, which is the underwater camera, and I always take it with me on holiday, like, especially on the beach. Is fantastic. Perfect camera for this. Really good lens in those. Becky she has L35AF2. So they're great cameras. If you're looking at Nikon point and shoots, L35AF series is a budget option. 2035 Ti is a premium option. All other Nikon point shoots, they are okay. They're not going to be as great as those series of cameras, but they're going to be on par with all the Canons, Olympus, and other cameras. So, you know, that's the thing. So, yeah, if you like 35mm lens, that's the answer. Okay, let's see. What else is there? Joe Vlog says, I hate my 51.4D until I stopped down to f2, surprisingly sharp, but then it's a tiny lens. The D glass is perfect. Yeah, I have 28 to 8D, 51.4D right now, and I'm looking to 35 f2D lens, and those are the lenses that sit on my f100. And f100 was my first Nikon camera, so I don't use it very often, but sometimes I have a feeling that I want to shoot film, but with autofocus. You know, sometimes it comes to me, you know, because generally when I shoot film, it's manual focus. It's just the way it should be, really, you know, so just for the classic feel, you know. But when I have a feel to snap away, just like a digital camera, I get my f100V, okay, Fuji f100 film camera. Not this Fujifilm V nonsense. Nikon F100. Here we go. Got there then. Yeah, F100 with D lenses or something like F80. David Cruz has F75. Those are perfect lenses for this. Obviously, if you shoot digital, again, D700 with this lens, D800 with this lens. Oh, D800 is a bit of a breaking point there because the lenses can't resolve that much. But something like up to 24 megapixel camera with a D lens on, I think they're perfect for the L35 AF. So congratulations. So that's good. You know, always good to, like as long as you don't mind the grain. If you just want to have best all-rounder film, 800 film probably currently. It used to be, remember when you say sunny day, ISO 100, cloudy day, ISO 200, 400, universal. I think now with the digital cameras, you know, where we can shoot at 12,000 ISO, you know, like it's kind of shifted a little bit. And obviously in England, it's always dark. So, you know, like it's very rarely where we have sunny days. And in terms of this, yeah, like 800 film, that's what I normally have with the camera that I take with me. So, you know, when I go on holiday, like in Lanzarote, 100 ISO film, amazing. Shot FP4 Ilford for the first time, ISO 125. What a beautiful black and white film. It's just incredible. Yeah, like coming from HP5 is good, you know, Tri-X is good, but FP4, oof, it's just so beautiful. So yeah, glad that you got ISO 1000 camera. All right, guys, I think we are just over an hour. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're going to see us next Thursday, not Friday, not the same time, 2:15, okay? Thursday, 3:15. So I'm just going to type it up. Next Thursday, 3:15 p.m. UK time, Con and Becky show, Becky live stream. So if you can, obviously, I know you're busy, I know everyone has plans, but if you can join us, you want to see Becky live, definitely come join us. We'll really appreciate this. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your opinions. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, feel free to email us anytime. We appreciate you being you. So thanks so much. I'll see you next week. All the best. Bye-bye.